Yes. Yes. So I cannot tell you who's going to win the election. What I can tell you is that on one level it matters, on another level it doesn't. The movement, the energy is there. The wave of energy is there. We're going that direction regardless. But we would like to make it easier rather than harder.
No doubt. Yeah, and it's so interesting because on one of my other podcasts on this network is Third Eye Political Radio, and this show is called Political Star Talk, but my other show, Beyond Politics, we talk about the idea that we're kind of in this battle of good versus evil, and when heart energy surges, the ego's right behind it, and when ego surges, the heart's right behind it. And so I do see this battle. In fact, one of my other podcast networks is called Heart Over Ego Radio because I see this so clearly and know that it's one of the reasons why I incarnated to be a part of this shifting dynamic. How do we change the world? Well, like the Dalai Lama, be the change you wish to see. It's got a ripple effect, and then, of course, educate people and be heartful and what have you. But it's an interesting time to be alive, and it's so cool because I'm a psychic and I'm a channel and I do a lot of different kinds of work, but the revolutionaries are coming in like nobody's business. And I'm not even talking about Martin Luther King and JFK. I've been channeling them regularly over the last 6 months, but now I'm getting connection, and this may sound weird, but it's been coming for a long time. I've been getting connections with I guess we'll call it ETs, aliens, and they are interested in what we've got going on the planet. We are at a really interesting point in history. It looks like the non-physical entities don't have bodies, but if they did, they're a little on the edge of their chair watching us move forward, hoping for the best. They can only support us spiritually and energetically, but believe we're being watched like the best reality show that they have to offer because it's a good game. We're going back and forth, tit for tat, good versus evil, surges of both. It's a very interesting time to be alive.
Right. I totally get that. And to just also, we're not alone. Mm-hmm. We're not in this battle alone. Yes, the ETs are here, and they are here in many different forms. We're not alone in this universe. I'm getting messages from the star system Sirius. I mean, that's coming big. And, we are reclaiming our place in the universe. We're remembering who we are. We had that separation from source. We are coming back. We're on, and it is, and the thing too to remember too is one of my teachers said, that this energy of fear is coming in, and it's coming in through the coronavirus is one of the ways. Mm-hmm. Really strongly. It's coming into the man who is our president right now. He's a very fractured, damaged soul. He's very cracked. This energy that does not want us to make this progress. The main thing where I'm trying to say is it is the fear that is showing up so strongly. And fear is what is the opposite of love, always. Mm-hmm. And the other piece is about flow. We have the planet Neptune in Pisces right now. And Neptune is that part of us that is the collective unconscious. It is the part that is the world of the invisible. And it is the part of us that remembers that on some level that we are all one. It is our more transcendent self. And Pisces, Neptune rules Pisces. But the shadow side of Pisces is illusion, delusion, deception. And to know that is also in our field really strong. And so it's always about learning to trust your inner guidance, because there's going to be things in the outer world that are going to distract you, confuse you, and the thing is you jump out of flow. You jump out of the natural flow when you step into fear. Fear stops the process, okay? And so this is a big piece about trusting your own inner guidance, but getting, and if fear is there, that's not your truth. That's not the true inner guidance.
Brilliant. Yes, that inner guidance. It's so important. When I was a young girl of 8 years old, I often would think I was talking to myself. But when I was able to get older and grow and discern, I realized that I wasn't consciously making those thoughts. Those thoughts were just happening, and I realized that was my spirit guides and or higher self, however you want to look at it. And I often encourage anyone I do readings for and anyone I get a chance to talk to is do a little meditation. You don't have to sit Indian style for an hour. You don't have to burn an incense if you don't have one. You can, but you can just also daydream. The idea of like driving home, we learned this in this hypnotherapy school, Sonya, driving home when you're kind of in autopilot and you know the way and you're kind of half present, that is also meditation, and that's a wonderful time to connect to that voice, that inner hearing, inner knowing. It's fun practice.
Right. It's so important to be grounded and centered within ourselves as we move forward so that we're not moving in fear, that we are connected to our own hearts. And so, yes, the meditation practice and, of course, being outside in Mother Earth. You know, Mother Earth is also our ally. She wants to take us with her. As she's like, what was it? My teacher said, you know, we've had 5 extinctions before. We're moving into the 6th extinction. And she's been through this before. She has moved into higher levels of higher dimensions before. But this is a real paradigm shift. And so the thing is to connect with Mother Earth, connect with our hearts, connect with Mother Earth, and align ourselves with the energy and truth of Mother Earth. She is another one of our allies in these changing times.
Agreed. Do you think that one of those extinctions was Atlantis? Do you think that one of the
absolutely.
times? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I know it was. Right, and so we just simply don't remember. The Earth has had many civilizations, many histories. We have blown ourselves up before, and we could certainly do that, but we don't have to do that. You know, and I think this is a time where there are so many more people that are aware and waking up. And that was the message I got this morning, you know, as I was doing my own meditation, that it is a time of waking up to the truth of who we are, and as cosmic beings as well as human beings. We're both.
Oh, it's so beautiful. You know, we're going to take a quick break here. I've got a quick commercial to play. Our sponsor is Heart Over Ego Radio. We will be back in 54 seconds.
You're listening to Third Eye Political Radio, and we really appreciate you joining us. And when you have a moment, why don't you check out our sister station, Heart Over Ego Radio, where we offer a lineup of shows that are guaranteed to raise your vibrations and guide you into your best life. We offer shows on Sundays, Everyday Psychic Radio, Mondays, The Alchemy Sisters, Tuesdays, Radical Spirituality, and on Wednesdays, All for One is Love. And then we close out the week on Fridays with Rain Radio. Amazing shows produced for you 5 days a week, only on Blog Talk Radio. That's right, it's our sister station, Heart Over Ego Radio.
Welcome back, everybody. You're here with Jennie, one of your hostesses, and today we have the lovely Sonya Spirit. How you doing, Sonya?
I am very well. Thank you for asking, Miss Jennie.
You're welcome. And we have the lovely Sibyl Starr. How are you doing, Sibyl?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Good to hear. Good to hear. And if you're all just joining in, this is Political Star Talk, and we're going to hand the table back over to Sibyl, the professional astrologist. Where do you think we should pick up after our little break there?
Well, I was kind of thinking about that. I think there's something that I want to share that I think is just really important as we're talking about Mother Earth. You know, because Mother Earth is really at the core of a lot of the paradigm changes that need to happen. We are her children, but, you know, she is making her voice heard very loudly about how much out of alignment we are with her. And so I want to go back to the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. It happened January 12th, Saturn-Pluto in Capricorn. It is this conjunction that happens every 3 times a century that has to do, once again, with the transformation of consensus reality, and it has to do with responsible use of power and resources and its shadow. so it is also a time of making things right. And so I want to talk about how what happened the last time Pluto and Saturn were together in Capricorn. Okay, like I said, it happens 3 times a century, but it hasn't happened in the sign of Capricorn in 500 years. Okay, so it's about 500 years ago, 1518 is when that happened. And in 1518, it was the 500 years ago, basically, the colonization of the Americas started. Okay, and so it feels to me like this is the ending of that cycle, and that there is a big piece about making things right of what happened in the colonization of the Americas with the native peoples, with the people coming over, the slavery here, all of these different things that started with that colonization mindset of the Americas. It is the end of that cycle. It is a time to make things right, and it is the beginning of a new cycle. And I feel like as we are ending the old cycle, and it's kind of like the step that has to be done, to be able to move forward is to make things right with what happened in that 500-year cycle, however we can do that. And I also feel like this also lines up with indigenous prophecies. I feel like a lot of indigenous people are going to be taking the lead in this next. I can't explain why it happened, but I just know that is what happened, and it is. That is kind of the way I see it, the ending and the beginning. And there is a piece that needs to be done, and it is Mother Earth is empowering the peoples that have been taking care of her, ever since time began, and understand her, who will be taking a bigger leadership role. That's one of the things I see.
Wonderful. These levels of extinction, I think you said there were 6 or 7.
There were 5 before.
Five.
Yeah.
This is very interesting, and it lines up with some of my teachings that I've just kind of come up through channel, which is we're not doing permanent damage to the earth. She'll get rid of us before we do permanent damage to her. But the idea is to learn to live in harmony and cohesively on her with ease and grace. So hopefully this is that Aquarian energy coming in where we can really start to reflect more and be more open-ended and not so closed down by dogma and what have you. And I'm reminded of that song, came out in the 60s, Age of Aquarius. And it seems like it's a good time coming. I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Well, just for an example of a way to live more lightly on the earth in an Aquarian kind of way, in a collaborative way, is I live in an intentional community. People learning to live together again on the earth. And one of our intentions is sustainability, is living here. As I feel like opportunity to think outside of the box in ways where we are more aligned with Mother Earth and each other in these new systems that are coming forward, and the Green New Deal, renewable energy, creating jobs out of creating a new energy grid system. These are things that I see coming regardless of who is, yes, they're attached to the fossil fuels, but it's a dinosaur, it's dying.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be here. There's new opportunity coming.
It's exciting. It quite literally is a dinosaur. It's falling away, and I'm glad that we're moving into this green energy space. Nikola Tesla would be so proud. This is a great opportunity for us to move forward in those inventions. I think that we have a lot of brilliant people on the planet. In fact, I see regular articles on Facebook about kids coming up with great ideas of how to clean the water and help sustain a particular resource that we're using up too much. So I think there's ideas, and this is going to bring a little conspiracy to the table, but I don't even know how conspiracy it is anymore. We do have a lot of people that make a lot of money in the oil industry. Now, for those people to walk away from that oil money, we would almost have to cut their hands off